Suhail Malik. So I welcome you all. I am delighted to welcome everybody, my dear participant. I would say the most respected participants who are all here for this training program. It is a great opportunity for us. And at this moment, I take the opportunity of thanking Directorate of Distance Learning to have provided this ODL portal, this opportunity for us to conduct the training. We've been conducting IPD recently. Dr. Saab, you must have known that previously we did conduct, but naturally there is a big gap between it, and it is a good opportunity that we can interact with our learned colleagues, with our learned faculty over here. And Mr. Kashif Suhail Malik has chosen a very, I would say excellence in online teaching and assessments. You will find out after you have been through it that actually he will reflect his topic and how well he will handle and efficiently handle the whole situation. And I think this is the beginning of a very good, opportunity for all of us. And I'm really grateful to Dr. Nabi Kashif Damani for this patronage of patronizing all this online training, and I'm sure that we will benefit a lot from it. And I thank the participants for being here. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, Kashif, would you like to
I now take
begin?
the fire.
And we have to take the opportunity of, yes, inviting our Dr. Ayaz sir, who will give the opening remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's a matter of great pleasure for me to be here to give my comments on this very important meeting organized by very competent people who thought well for the future and uplifting International Islamic University, and especially to transform it into a future which is eminent. It is a kind of do or die type of thing. And it is rightly mentioned in the letter, invitation letter, that it is a kind of a paradigm shift. When we say paradigm shift, it means a lot. It means everything is going to change and all practices won't last long. They have to die soon. So if we won't change, we die. And when I say die, it is a metaphor. It means that we lag behind what the world is going to. If you look at, you see this online distance blended task base, there have been different milestones, but nobody used it as a paradigm shift. Paradigm shift is a big metaphor for something that is so big that it changes everything. If you look at, you see 1973, I mean, kids born in 1973 or 74, they would have never heard or seen computer. It was hard to think that they would have touched it at that time. So the old traditional model of teaching, a metaphor again is used, that it was a kind of a jug and a mug type of teaching, where jug was the teacher, fountainhead of knowledge, and the jug around it to pour some knowledge in those empty classes or lessons. That model has changed. and the technology has dramatically changed. And most of the boundaries between face-to-face teaching and teacher as a kind of a murshid and followers around it, giving respect to the teacher. And all that paraphernalia around it has dramatically changed in the modern times. And technology has made it easier. And the things which were harder to do, very easy to do in the modern. And nobody would have thought, you see, that one would be able to test, you see, hundreds and thousands of students in a few minutes with the advancement of technology. Nobody would have thought, you see, that one teacher would be able to teach thousands of people sitting all over the world, connected through this technology. And nobody would have thought, you see, a decade ago that there would be so many platforms specially developed for online teaching, like Google Classroom, like Moodle, Canvas, Blackboard, interactive board. So all these have brought, you see, a new paradigm shift in teaching. And hence, the role of teacher has also changed. So it's no more that teacher is the fountainhead. Teacher's role from the jug has changed into facilitator, to indicating what are the useful resources, what are the best available platforms, and what are the best ways to practice it.
नहीं मैं बोल रहा था ठीक है सही हो
Okay. I think it is a great opportunity for us and all the participants that they would learn a lot. I don't have to say much because the specialists and experts would come in, but I congratulate, you see, Distance Education Department and IPD that they, in collaboration, this organizing session, training session, and I hope that everybody would get great benefit from it, and many things which they would learn. They would be the beginning of a long way we have to go to be effective and to create excellence, as the word is used over here, in online teaching, because it is something which is not going, it's not going away. It's going to stay in the one form or other form. Even those who are saying that face-to-face is the best, now face-to-face is going to change again, because that's going to, what we can say, that augmented face-to-face learning. That would be augmented, I mean supported. How? That you learn something in the class, but you do most of the things like your tasks, activities, assignments. So that would be structured activities or exercises would depend on LMSR, that would be through online. So online is now an obligatory part of everybody's life, and those who don't acknowledge it, they are going to lose. They would be the losers. And we have the best, I mean, in our university, we have recently experimented, you see, moving, you see, in very hard and with very meager resources to move on to LMS, Google Classroom, under the leadership of Dr. Nabila Kirmani. And I think that it would be just a miss if I don't mention that in IPD and our master trainer, Kashif Sohail Malik, he visited the United States, and when he came back, I wanted to meet him because he would have seen there that in the UNCW where he got training, that there were not many people in the office. There would be 2 or 3 people, but how they coordinated with other departments to transform so many things in the university, bringing them on board, using their expertise. So it doesn't mean that you need a big team at one place working on it. People have already experiences, expertise in different departments. The purpose is to liaison with them, bring them on board, use them to train other people. And I think Mr. Malik is much cognizant of this, and he would be such an energetic person that I hope that he would be able to do more than what we expect. And he has that potential. So again, you see all the participants, good luck. I mean, I won't be in your way that you would have so many experts. They would be training you about the online. These were some of my feelings, and I wanted to convey that it is something which is going to stay forever. And this COVID has brought many bad things, but it has also brought some of the good things. And good things is that the people who were not ready, who were the staunch enemy of any type of this, they have to move on to this new way of life. And again, I will end with this one, that this collaboration of distance education and IPD should be congratulated for organizing this workshop for people and training them. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Dr. Ayaz Afsar. I must thank you so much. It's a wonderful start, and I think you have given the right direction to all of us by starting with paradigm shift, which it is definitely, and then bringing our attention towards teaching and how technology is transforming everything, and mentioning all those apps and learning management systems which are becoming more popular than the teacher themselves. And then also giving a reference to the world famous MIT professor Gerhard, who conducted the first 100,000 students class. So we are living in wonderful times. So, and reminding me of the University of North Carolina visit. Yes, we were really lucky, and I always feel thankful to the university for providing us this wonderful opportunity, whereby I could visit 17 universities and see how technology has transformed everything and made education a more facilitative and a more far-reaching process. So in a country like Pakistan, definitely your words are, I think, very insightful and will set the direction for our faculty this morning sitting with us, that we all have to take technology up, and we all have to live with it, and we all have to make it sort of our way of life in the university, in professional life and the personal life. Dr. Saab, your words were very kind, and I feel in management they say, please allow me to say these words, in management there is a statement, the right person at the right place. Having met you a number of times, having listened to you and seen your deep insight to the academics, I remember in the last meeting, very few people talk about the training follow-up. And when you mentioned it and you said training has to be fortified with the follow-up, I was extremely happy that we have people with this vision and leadership who can drive academics to a better end. So once again, thank you for joining us, giving us your valuable time and giving your academic insight. Now, to kick things forward, I would like to take the honor and pleasure to introduce, well, I don't need to actually introduce, he's known to everybody. He's, mashallah, doing so much good work. I've been impressed of his, I remember when I looked at his WhatsApp and there was written, today, not tomorrow. And I was extremely impressed. And I was thinking, let's see how it comes up. And in practice, I could see, yes, mashallah, he follows it. The things are going quick. We have not only a great academician, but a great leader with us. I am more happy and honored that he was very kind to support me to have this session on a very short notice. And he also directed the Directorate of Distance Education, all of their resources and people. We've been working together to put this workshop for our faculty. So please let me take this honor to invite Professor Dr. Nabi Baksh Jumani, Vice President, AFNP, and at this moment in time, he is also acting on behalf of President to offer the presidential note at the start of this ceremony. Sir, please.
Kashif, thank you very much. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Honorable Professor Dr. Ayaz Afsar, Vice President ACAT, Dr. Kashif Sohail Malik, Dr. Sania Khalid, and other colleagues and the participants. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Really, it is a matter of a privilege for me to be the part of your opening ceremony on the training session of excellence in online teaching and assessment. And you know, I used to say with my colleagues, my friends, and the seniors and the academic professionals in my field that distance education is not only the area of interest or the research for me, but it's my passion. There are certain reasons, because as an academician, I started my career in an open learning system, and then I had a specialization in distance learning. So I know, I realize that what is the importance and what is the future of distance education globally, and particularly in the advanced countries. When I look at the history and the developments that happened in the India and the Bangladesh and the Sri Lanka, as far as distance education is concerned, I really feel much shocked that the Pakistan is the second country in the world which established a distance learning university, exclusive distance learning university as an open university, Allama Iqbal Open University. Initially, it was named as People's Open University, and then renamed as Allama Iqbal Open University. So this is the second open university in the world, but unfortunately, we are lagging behind in terms of the developments that took place throughout the world, and more importantly, the developments took place in the SAARC region. So I always talk about the importance or the significance of the distance education. This is what happened in our International Islamic University. I always talked about, though I am not the professor of distance education here, I am professor of education, but I talk about the distance education. And Alhamdulillah, with this type of the attempts in International Islamic University, we had established Directorate of Distance Education, and we also started very good research journal titled as International Journal of Distance Education and E-Learning. That is, alhamdulillah, recognized by a Higher Education Commission. And there are only 3 distance education journal in Pakistan. One is by Allama Iqbal Open University, second is by International Islamic University, and third is by Virtual University of Pakistan. And 2 of them are recognized. One is Open Universities and other is International Islamic Universities Journal. Ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate the effort of IPD, particularly Kashif Sohail Malik and Madam Sania, that they started this training. They are already working on offering different type of the very dynamic and robust type of the sessions and the trainings and the input to the universities and outside the university in terms of the seminars and conferences, and particularly the training sessions. And this session, I really take it's very important in this in these days of the pandemic, when we talk about and we offer the trainings on open and distance learning, particularly on the theme of excellence in teaching and assessment. This is very sensitive topic and very important as well. Sensitive in a way that people usually in developing countries and particularly in Pakistan, they criticize badly. How can we teach all the skills, all the competencies to the students through distance mode of education? And more importantly, the system is severely criticized because of the assessment issues. That how can we assess the students at the far-flung areas, saying that there is no monitoring and surveillance facilities by physical surveillance facilities or the opportunities, so that the students may cheat and may use unfair means for managing his passing in the course or the subject. So this is not the problem actually. So I think during this course or the training sessions, our participant will be fully abreast of what is excellence in teaching, and particularly in distance education, and what is excellence in evaluation, particularly in evaluation and assessment on online teaching. I will refer the few words of Dr. Professor Ayaz that primarily the teacher was considered as the jug and the student was considered as the mug. Really, this not is the classical or the old theory, but it even happens today that the teacher is considered himself considers as the repository of the information, and whatever is required for the transferring to the student, he or she possesses, and he claims that everything he can deliver to the students. This is the age of information technology, and with a single digit touch to the digital device, you can have abundant information that could fulfill your all type of the requirements and more than the teacher who is physically available in the class. So I think this theory has been redundant, and nobody who's really updated in terms of the knowledge and the recent and the updated literature would not accept that theory that the only teacher can do as far as teaching, as far as the learning and the competency inculcation of the students is concerned. We basically, if we look at the basic philosophies of the teaching, there are three basic philosophies. There are basically three philosophies. One is cognitivism, another is behaviorism, and third is constructivism. This is what happens in the teaching learning process, what is the input from the teacher and what is the resultant of the input of the teacher. So when the teacher teaches, what kind of the methods he or she adopts, he or she revolves around three basic philosophies. And what kind of the learning is taking place, we look at what kind of the cognition learning, what kind of the affective learning, what kind of the psychomotor learning is taking place. And when we look at our courses and the programs, BS program, MS program, the PhD programs, what kind of the deliverables we are providing to the students? We are providing three things. One is knowledge, other is performance, what kind of the performance is expected from the students, and what kind of the input as far as performance we are giving to the students. And third is disposition. What kind of the behaviors, what kind of the change in the personality and are happening, are occurring, and we supposed to happen in the personality of the students, and what kind of the disposition the teacher is having in the class. So these things are possible. Now I'm concluding my talk. These all the things, basic philosophies of the teaching and the domains of the learning, and the three basic elements of any course that we offer to the students, that's knowledge, that's performance, that's the disposition. All the in every aspect we have three indicators. All the three indicators in each of the aspect can be delivered, can be inculcated, and can be assessed through distance mode of education, online mode of education, virtual mode of education. So this has been the matter of the fact that the distance education is as good as face-to-face education. So ladies and gentlemen, I really hope that you will be much appraised of what is the latest trends and what is the difficulties and problems through and strengths of teaching through distance mode of education. And the credit goes to the team of the IPT. And I think this is one of the opening, it is initial project or the initial intervention from our IPT and jointly distance education. So we will be inshallah offering such type of the programs for our faculty in the university and the teachers of our twin cities and throughout the country, inshallah. So my best wishes for the success of this training sessions. And my, again, congratulations for the team of IPT and the leaders of the IPT and the director IPT and the master trainer Kashif Sohail Malik and Madam Sania Khalid. And I'm thankful to Dr. Ayaz Afsar Sahab for his thought-provoking discussions and speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Your very insightful talk. And I think no one in the university would understand it better than the importance of the distance education better than Professor Dr. Nabibakhsh Jomani. He has been, in a leadership position for the Directorate of Distance Education. And I have seen how passionately he is working on this new ODL. And it will be very unfair not to mention and acknowledge Dr. Mehrosh and Mr. Talha in the recent interaction for making this training possible, and how we three have been working together to inculcate the ODL, inshallah, which will be introduced and exposed to the participants this afternoon. Dr. Saab, thank you very much. You were very kind. You gave an immediately go to it. And we remember you were the one to take initiative in the university to introduce distance education. And now when ODL is coming up, we were very passionate and excited that inshallah we are going to be part of it. And I'm sure today our faculty, by the way, Professor Dr. Ayaz Afzal Saab and Professor Dr. Nabibakhsh Jomani Saab, I would like to bring it to your to knowledge that we gave an open invitation. Nobody was nominated, nobody was forced to join the training. It was an email sent, an open invitation, and an open invitation could have both sides to it. Yeah. Many people could join and nobody could join. So these are the sides of the technology. But I am extremely happy that more than 60 people have joined at their own free will. And Alhamdulillah, at this point in time, almost the whole group is sitting with us. So that shows the vibrant entrepreneurial, I would say, spirit of our faculty. And inshallah, we'll try that we could serve better our faculty, Institute of Professional Development, through its training program, and definitely in collaboration with the Directorate of Distance Education. So with this, I once again thank our worthy guests for sparing their time and becoming part of this initiative and being with us and enlightening us with their with their views and actually setting up the stage for the training. Both of you have made my work very easy by giving this leadership note, what training is, what it requires, and where we need to head to. So with this note, and thank you, now we move on to our active training session. And let's begin this. We take it as the motto of the IPD that indeed Allah Almighty loves that you attain excellence in all that you endeavor. So together, you and us, IPD and our faculty members, inshallah, we are going to achieve excellence in teaching and teaching online. So online teaching is a new thing, a new challenge, but it's not something impossible. We are going to do it, inshallah. We are going to do it better together. So this is a little effort, the beginning, the first step. So let me begin. I think you all have been listening to us all this time. And one of the central topic of my training today is student engagement. So I need to engage all of you with me. So let's have the first poll. All my trainees sitting with us. Let's have the first poll, and you're going to receive a poll soon, and you're going to vote for it. Okay. So here it comes. Let me know if it is there, and you're going to vote for it. And here comes the first poll. Right. So you'll have short time, 30 seconds to attempt it. The poll is with you. Your time to interact with us. Okay, I'm receiving the live responses. This is how the technology is great. This gives us information instantly. By the way, may I request the participants to please put off their videos. If you could switch off your videos, it will help us better run the program. And whenever you will be invited to participate, it will be your choice to switch on your video or use audio. Wow, great. So I have results with me. We have a great number. There is a major number. It's a ratio of, okay, 2/3 of us have not attended any online training on teaching and assessment in the last 1 year. So that gives me a little more confidence that what we are doing is the right thing, and that's what is needed. Great, mashallah. So I have results here. Right. I'm going to end the polling now. I have, see, there is another good thing. Now, I exactly know how many of my students have responded. 40 of you have responded. So I still have to think about the remaining 14, that what are they doing at this point in time. So I think they are doing what can be enjoyed during the online classes. You could just enter in the classroom and put yourself to sleep. But we will inshallah make sure that you're part of the training and the session throughout this session. And that's what our students do. And we are going to learn today, how do we cope up with this issue? Now you see more students have started coming for polling in. Okay, great. So, right. So enough time. Let me end the polling. And I have another advantage. Technology gives us so many advantages. Let me share with you the results. And I can even share these results with you. Here it comes. You all can see what has been the result of this. Okay, now see, there is a 71% of us has not received any training for online teaching and assessment. So inshallah, that gives me an idea. How am I going to start? What should be my level of intervention with all of you? So inshallah, I'm happy that we are on the right path. We are going to work together and we are going to be equipped with what is required to be good in online teaching and assessment. So see, imagine if you had to conduct such a survey in your classroom, in your physical classroom, what would have been the amount of effort for you to do? And we are going to learn all these things, inshallah, during the session, how things become very easy, handy, and convenient for us. So let me stop these share results. I can even download and I can even check. And your responses has also given me the attendance, that how many of you have, attempted it. Right. So let's begin. Okay. For my introduction, Mr. Shan was very generous to put an introductory slide in the WhatsApp group, which we have formed for this training, Excellence in Online Teaching. So we are also interacting there. But he was very generous to put an introduction there. For my introduction, I am like this white blank slide. And I borrow a line from Socrates who says, I know one thing, that I know nothing. So I know nothing. Today, you and myself together, we are going to interact and learn. And I'm sure, inshallah, there'll be a lot for me to learn from all of you. So let's delve into the training. Yeah. So let's delve into the training. Welcome aboard. And with this welcome comes some of my expectations and norms. As we are interacting, many of us are interacting online first time. So I would like to share my expectation and norms for an online learning. You're all expected to actively participate and share your views. And I'm going to let you know a number of ways to interact with me. And one of them is the chat box. If you know how to open a chat box and use it in the Zoom, great. If not, I'll let you know. If you're on a mobile phone, just tap on it. On the side, you'll see 3 dots. Go in it, and there's a chat box. If you're on a laptop, depending on what version you are using, on your options bar, there are 3 dots again. You can open your chat box and you can directly chat with me. And I'll also be able to control who chats with me and who chats publicly. Okay. So number 1. Number 2. Feel free to disagree with the facilitator. Dr. was very kind to remind us about the concept of jug and a mug. And at that point in time, only jug was able to pour. But now we live in a time where the mugs are pouring back to the jug. So please pour back, disagree with me. Wherever you feel maybe I am not right on certain things, you want to educate me, please feel free to do it. Feel free to interact with the participants. You're going to get lots of chance today to interact with the participant in the breakout sessions. So technology gives us a handy solution for making groups and having discussions in the breakout sessions. So inshallah, we are going to do that. And there also interact with the participants, disagree, but very respectfully. Follow instructions always and carefully, inshallah. Keep your mic and video off until asked to turn on. You will be asked at some points in time to turn on your mics. And I also have the control. If you turn them on without turn, I'll be able to turn them off. But I'll be very happy to have you online with us live And if you like, you can also turn on your videos. Okay, use chat box, use reactions. By the way, you also have an option to use reactions in the Zoom. You can tell me hands up, hands down. If you're happy, show a happy face. I'll feel happy to see all these things. Raise hand option. Please also learn to use raise hand option. Whenever I ask you a question, ideally you must raise hand, and I'll take you on board from the the participants menu. So then we will, inshallah, tomorrow we'll do lots of annotations, and you're already in the WhatsApp group where you can also ask questions. And okay, here comes a very important norm in the online teaching, and that is to let our participants know, our students know, what are the values we follow. So for you also the same value is being set. Take a break, quit if tired or busy. अगर आप बहुत थक जाएं, अगर आपको लगे मैं आपको बोर कर रहा हूं, तो take a break, थोड़ी देर के लिए आप इससे हट जाएं, मीटिंग से क्विट कर दें, rather than being deceitful. Now there are ways for me, for teachers, जो आज हम सीखेंगे भी बच्चों को चेक करने के कि ये ऑनलाइन आपके साथ हैं या नहीं है. But I always tell my students, rather than being deceitful, if you're tired, if you're busy, leave the meeting for some time or the class for some time and then come back. As teacher, we also need to tell our students the values required, the ethical standards which we expect from them. ठीक है? तो जरा मुझे chat box में बताएं, how many of you are with me? Chat box में जरा response आना चाहिए. Say yes, say no. How many of you are able to use, mashallah, Shaheen, okay, Taqir Ahmad Saab, Dr. Tamkeen, Dr. Zakira, Dr. Musarrat, Sumaira, जैसे आपने नाम लिखे हुए हैं, I'm sorry, I have to talk them in the same way. Naveed Altaf Saab, Muhammad Islam, Binish Iftikhar, Ubaid Umar. Great. So you are all with me. That shows, okay, so wonderful. This is a wonderful team of people. Dr. Suraya, Hafiz Abdul Manan Saab, Khurram Hussain, they are all with me. Dr. Frial is also, so I am really blessed and honored that all of you, Dr. Timia, and then Sajida, Dr. Muhammad Imran, Dr. Sher Ali Khan, they're all part of this training. So let's look at next. In case of any violations, which I'm sure there is no violation expected in this session, but the purpose of sharing it with you is in online teaching, please set up, we have Sayyid Naveed Ihtisham, Dr. Imran Murtaza, and many more, Muhammad Yunus, and I'm going to take you all on board, inshallah. So yes from beginning, great. Shumaila Chaudhary is saying yes from the beginning. Wow, wonderful. Abdul Rafi. So in case of any violations, you will be sent to the waiting room. Actually, we run a training program in the evening, and because hundreds of people join that, at times 300 people, 400 people. So we have set a norm that if you do not follow what the teacher is saying, you will be put in the waiting room. So they are put in the waiting room for some time and they become unable to join the session. That is sort of a punishment, which I think is not appropriate to say here. But just to let you know, if you are teaching sessions, you can do that. Okay. Now, okay, right. Here is going to be the first thing to do. Now, I am going to send you the first link in the chat box. Okay. In your chat box. And you are going to, here it comes, to everyone in the meeting, Control V. The link is with you. And I'm going to post the same link. I'm going to post the same link on in the WhatsApp group in case you find it difficult. So you will find it here in the WhatsApp group, Control V. It is sent. Please mark your attendance. Open this, it will take you 30 seconds to mark your attendance, that you're all with me and you're active and you're participating. Remember, your certificates will be issued on the basis of your attendance, inshallah. And so I have already sent it to you. Okay. And the one who has marked the attendance, please let me know in the chat box you have done it. 45 seconds for you to do it. By the way, because we are beginning and some of us, mashallah, you're all very quick. Muhammad Imran, Engineer Fahad, Shaheen, and Ms. Aksa Arshad, and Mr. Taqir Ahmad. Great, you're going great. अच्छा, थोड़ा सा आप लोगों से, there is a request to all of you. When we got the registration forms and I studied them, some of us are very new to the online teaching and even new to the teaching. And Alhamdulillah, we have very, very senior people sitting with us, people with 23 years of experience, 25 years of experience, but people with 6 months of experience are also sitting with us. So you have to bear with, these extremes. Okay. So at times I have to be slow and let people know how to use the options. And at time I'll be a little fast to catch up with the content. So please stay with me, bear with me. And I'll say the senior ones, please help the young ones learn together. All of us, we will learn together. और जो हमारे नए young member हैं, faculty member हैं, उनसे हम सीखेंगे भी इंशाल्लाह. I'm sure they are good on technology. Some of you would definitely be much better than myself. So I'll be learning from you. So this is how we keep on interacting with students online. Let's now, session begins now. ये पहले तो थोड़ी सी हमारी, आज आपको पता है ओपनिंग सेरेमनी थी, एक फॉर्मेलिटी थी और आपकी अटेंडेंस भी लग गई. अब हम अपना सेशन 1 शुरू कर रहे हैं. How did you do that? Fasten your seat belts. Ready हो जाए मेरे साथ. We all will have lots of fun and we will run and we'll enjoy. तो आइए जी, फर्स्ट एक्टिविटी आ रही है आप सबके लिए, जिसका रिस्पॉन्स आपने मुझे देना है चैट बॉक्स में. ओके, कम्स हियर. Take a minute, think and respond in the chat box. Let me know, when was the last time you did something for the first time in your life? अच्छा प्लीज ये खाली अपनी टीचिंग का नहीं सोचना, ऑफिस का नहीं सोचना, योर लाइफ, अपनी पूरी लाइफ के बारे में सोचते हुए. तो when was the last time you did something for the first time in your life? कब किया था आपने? इसका रिस्पॉन्ड करना है आपने चैट बॉक्स में जी. Okay, great. The responses have started coming. Ms. Saira Batul is asking, please repeat. The question is right there in front of you on the screen. When was the last time you did something for the very first time in your life? Okay, ji, Dr. Sher bata rahe hain 12 years or 6 years back. Okay. And there is, great. Some of you did it last week and 2 days ago. Great. 3 days back, last year, 2 years back, 10 years, a couple of days back, 2 weeks. Great. That going great. अच्छा, अब थोड़े हम और भी चीजें सेट करेंगे. You are mashallah very active community of participants. I'll be using this sign, ये active raise hand. तो उस वक्त आप चैट बॉक्स में रुक जाया करेंगे and you'll be back with me. Okay? So active student engagement. Okay? Last year. Great हो गया जी, जबरदस्त. Couple of days back. अच्छा, by the way, some of us here are very smart. They're very smart. For example, I see a response here. I see a response here of Miss Nadia Akhtar. She says just few minutes ago. Okay. अच्छा, जो हमारे कोई पार्टिसिपेंट कौन है तो उनको मैं तो मैंने सबको म्यूट कर दिया है. देखिए मेरे पास सारे कंट्रोल है. क्लासरूम में आप ये नहीं कर सकते है ना, आपको डांटना पड़ता है स्टूडेंट्स को. ओके, so she's very smart. She said KG a couple of minutes ago. Oh wow, Miss Amreen says using Zoom on phone today. That's wonderful. Now I'm going to go a step ahead. We do something, dear all, please, your attention is required. We do new things every moment in our life. This very moment, you are sitting with me on an online class. You might have seen me earlier, but sitting in this way in an online class is the first time in our life that we are studying this course on excellence in online teaching and learning. Isn't it the very first time you are doing it? So why should we think Dr. Bushra is asking about the question? Dr. Bushra, we asked the question about when was the last time you did something for the very first time in your life? But anyways, please now go with us as we have already covered this part. We welcome you. Welcome on board. Okay. Now, so we did something for the very first time. So only the dead has nothing new to do. You know, we are all doing something new every moment. So the point is this very moment, dear faculty members, for learning technology, the first thing we have to change is our mindset. That's why I sent you the first reading, pre-reading about mindset, changing your mind. We do new things every moment. Okay. Now, so we have to learn this technology. It's a new thing. Let's do it. Do it together. Only the dead would not do anything. Okay. We are living people. Great. अच्छा जी, वर्कशॉप एम जो है ये थोड़ी सी एकेडमिक बातें आपको पता है बतानी होती हैं, तो मैं क्विकली इस पर बात करके हम आगे अगली एक्टिविटी पे चलेंगे, आप सब एंजॉय भी करेंगे उसमें। ट्रेनिंग फोकसेस एट पैराडाइम चेंज, और डॉक्टर अयाज जैसे कह रहे थे कि पैराडाइम चेंज इज अ बिग चेंज वेयर एवरीथिंग चेंजेस, टीचिंग इज गोइंग टू बी चेंज्ड ऑल टुगेदर। स्टूडेंट एंगेजमेंट, दूसरा इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इंशाल्लाह इस कोर्स में विच वी आर गोइंग टू डू इज हाउ टू एंगेज स्टूडेंट्स। अच्छा, वो कुछ मेरे जैसे टीचर होते हैं जो फिजिकल क्लासेस में भी माशाल्लाह जैसी एंगेजमेंट होती है टेक्नोलॉजी में भी वैसी है, जबकि टेक्नोलॉजी कुड हेल्प यू फार फार बेटर देन द फिजिकल क्लासरूम फॉर एंगेजिंग योर स्टूडेंट्स। सो आई डोंट बाय इन दिस आइडिया कि टेक्नोलॉजी में आप स्टूडेंट के साथ एंगेज नहीं होते। हमें अपना माइंडसेट चेंज करना है। और इफेक्टिव ऑनलाइन असेसमेंट, अच्छा ऑनलाइन टीचिंग में सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज टीचर्स का है ऑनलाइन असेसमेंट, तो इंशाल्लाह हम उसको भी देखने जा रहे हैं कि टेक्नोलॉजी कितना बेनिफिट देती है। आई एम अ पर्सनल विटनेस, आई एम एक्सपीरियंसिंग इट कि टेक्नोलॉजी आपके अनपढ़ बंदे से, अनपढ़ बंदे से भी, आई विल इंशाल्लाह शो यू दैट, उसको भी पढ़ा सकती है, उसकी भी असेसमेंट करवा सकती है, जबकि हम बाज़ औक़ात क्लासरूम के अंदर अच्छी असेसमेंट नहीं करवा पाते। तो लर्निंग आउटकम्स क्या होंगे हमारे इंशाल्लाह, अंडरस्टैंड द चेंज पैराडाइम, अभी हम पहली एक्टिविटी करेंगे उसमें हम इस पे बात करेंगे। एनहांस स्टूडेंट एंगेजमेंट थ्रू इनोवेटिव टेक्नोलॉजी, ठीक है जी। अप्लाइड टेक्सोनॉमीज, कल के दिन में हम इंशाल्लाह टेक्सोनॉमी पे बात करेंगे। और यूज ई लर्निंग असेसमेंट रिसोर्सेज, जो थर्ड डे है, थर्ड डे हम हैंड्स ऑन, आप मेरे साथ मिलके, हम मिलके जाएंगे ऑनलाइन और हम डिजाइन करेंगे चीजों को, खुद टेक्नोलॉजी को एंजॉय करेंगे। सो दिस इज हाउ दिस 3 days ट्रेनिंग इज गोइंग टू बी, ठीक है जी। सो लेट्स सी दिस नाउ। अब ये देखिए, दिस इज द क्वेश्चन टू ऑल ऑफ यू, हाउ मच प्रिपेयर्ड आर यू फॉर ऑनलाइन टीचिंग? ओके, नाउ वन वे कुड बी, आई आस्क यू दिस क्वेश्चन, जैसे आपके सामने लिखा हुआ आया है, तो ये मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूं। अब मैं आपसे कह सकता हूं, अच्छा जी, हाउ मच प्रिपेयर्ड आर यू फॉर ऑनलाइन टीचिंग? ये साइन पोस्ट क्वेश्चन आप पूछते ना टीचिंग के दरमियान, क्लासरूम में भी पूछते थे, ठीक है। बट दिस इज फॉर मी इज अ पैसिव ऑनलाइन क्वेश्चन। आई कैन मेक इट मोर एक्टिव ऑनलाइन क्वेश्चन। कैसे? ये देखिए, अभी आपके पास आने लगा एक्टिव ऑनलाइन क्वेश्चन। Okay, now let me know your responses. How much prepared are you for the online teaching? You have the survey with you. ये चीज देखें, now this is the difference. Wonderful. Now we are all engaged. You are part of it. Wow, I am very happy Mr. Suhail is saying polling on Zoom is new for me. This is a wonderful tool. That's why I have kept it. And I'll also tell you, it's very, very easy to make a poll. 2 minutes or 3 minutes max. और अगर आप टाइपिंग में भी स्लो है फिर भी 5 minutes. 5 मिनट में पोल बन जाता है, इससे ज्यादा नहीं। तो अगर आप कहेंगे आप लोग मुझे, तो मैं आपको इवन पोल बनाना भी 1 मिनट में वो बन जाता है, कोई इट्स नॉट अ बिग डील, ठीक है। सो ग्रेट जी, मेरे पास रिजल्ट्स आ गए जी, और अब वंडरफुल, दैट मींस ठीक है जी। आप मीट पर भी लेते हैं, जिस पर भी लेते हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी की मजा ये है कि आप हर चीज को एम्बेड कर लें आपस में। और आज मैं इंशाल्लाह दिखाऊंगा व्हाट मैजिक द ओडीएल इज डूइंग। एंड इवन हमारा जो पोर्टल है एलएमएस, उसके ऊपर पैरालेक्स का ऑप्शन है, आप डिफरेंट एप्स को एम्बेड कर सकते हैं आपस में, ठीक है। So there is a lot to learn inshallah. चलें जी, मेरे पास पोल का रिजल्ट आ गया है. So these are very mixed results. ठीक है. Let me end the polling now. I have a good number of responses. So I am ending it. तो आपको चूंकि पहले पता चल चुका है कि हमेशा पोल के रिजल्ट शेयर भी किए जा सकते हैं, और a good number of us is very well prepared for online teaching, which is great. And आप माशाल्लाह वैसे भी वो ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल हैं जिन्होंने इसलिए ज्वाइन किया कि आप पहले ही टेक्नोलॉजी, आप ओपन हैं, you are open learners, you want to learn technology, and it's a right approach. So my work becomes easy. Let me move forward. So देखें how we can make a question a more active question, a more engaging question than just asking a question. मैंने ऑनलाइन देखा है कुछ क्लासेस में वो मेरे जैसे बेचारे टीचर जो बैठ जाते हैं, बस बैठ के यूं पढ़ा रहे होते हैं. तो मैं आपको बता रहा था कि ये जो मैं आपको पढ़ा रहा हूं, और दूसरी तरफ क्या होता है, मेरा ख्याल है स्टूडेंट्स कह रहे हैं जी. So you know this is, there are so many things to engage them. Okay, तो मैं इसलिए यहाँ पर एक थोड़ी आपको क्लैरिटी देता जाऊं. आज ये जो ट्रेनिंग आप लोग कर रहे हैं, बाय वन गेट वन फ्री होगा इसमें. ठीक है. व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय दिस? जी मोहम्मद इमरान, मिस्टर मोहम्मद इमरान, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर रिमाइंडिंग अस. मुझे सबसे ज्यादा अफसोस होता है कि हमारी फैकल्टी विदाउट वीडियो भी पढ़ा रही है. आप अल्लाह रहम फरमाए हम सब पर, कि वो क्या करते हैं, ऑडियो के ऊपर बच्चों को बेचारों को पढ़ा रहे हैं ऑडियो पे. और मैंने बहुत सी मीटिंग्स देखी हैं कि मीटिंग का होस्ट जो है ऑडियो के ऊपर ही लगा हुआ है. भाई आपके पास टेक्नोलॉजी है, आपके पास वीडियो है, आप वैसे तो आपके पास ये कंफर्ट भी है कि आप जिस हालत में है मीटिंग कर लें, जिस हालत में है पढ़ लें. ऐसा कभी हो पाया था पहले? तो दिस इज ऑल टेक्नोलॉजी. सो ये डॉक्टर बुशरा इंशाल्लाह जो मीट है, गूगल मीट या माइक्रोसॉफ्ट फॉर्म्स, इस पर भी हम इंशाल्लाह बात करेंगे. कोई खास फर्क नहीं है, आप इन सब के अंदर ये चीजें एम्बेड कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. तो अच्छा, मैं आई वाज एक्सप्लेनिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट बाय वन गेट वन फ्री. इस ट्रेनिंग में मैंने किया यूं है कि मैं बजाय इसके आपको थियरी ऑफ ऑनलाइन टीचिंग पढ़ाता, आई हैव एम्बेडेड ऑल दोज ऑप्शंस जो हम यूज करते जाएंगे. यानी मैं वो अलग से नहीं आपको पढ़ाऊंगा. जैसे अभी पोल्स हैं तो हमने इसको यूज किया है, आप अगर कहेंगे तो मैं आपको एडिट करना भी बता दूंगा, इसका 1 मिनट की बात है. इसी तरह हम एनोटेशंस यूज करेंगे, हम व्हाइट बोर्ड यूज करेंगे, हम बहुत सी चीजें यूज करेंगे इंशाल्लाह. सो हम अपलोड करेंगे, हम चीजें आप देखते जाएंगे. सो 2 साइड्स ऑफ ट्रेनिंग. हम ट्रेनिंग को रन कर रहे होंगे, ये कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़े होंगे, और साथ साथ ये ऑप्शंस आएंगे. ठीक है. हाँ, वेरी वेल सेड मिस अमरीन के सारे ऑप्शंस आपको ऑलमोस्ट ऑल एप्स में मिल जाते हैं. और मैं आगे जाके आपको इसका एक सिंपल फॉर्मूला बताऊंगा कि आपने किस ऐप में क्या एक्सपर्टीज लेनी है. ठीक है. तो चलिए जी, तो जो बात मैं कर रहा था 2 साइड्स ऑफ ट्रेनिंग, ये है कि हम इस तरह यूज करते जाएंगे और ट्रेनिंग में आगे बढ़ते जाएंगे. और आप ये, तो अब आपका पहला जो है ना एक ऑनलाइन आपका जबरदस्त सेशन होने जा रहा है. आई एम गोइंग टू पुट यू ऑल इन ब्रेकआउट सेशंस. ठीक है. ये जरा क्वेश्चन नोट कर लें. नंबर 1 है, टेक्नोलॉजी हैज ट्रांसफॉर्म्ड आवर लाइव्स इन द लास्ट 15 years. हाउ? नंबर 1, ये क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 आपने ये डिस्कस करना है आपस में. हाउ हैज माय प्रोफेशन ट्रांसफॉर्म्ड इन द लास्ट 15 months? इन द लास्ट 15 months, पिछले 15 माह में, ये कोरोना और इसके बाद से कैसे हमारा प्रोफेशन ट्रांसफॉर्म हुआ है. और एक बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट जो हमारे एक्टिव टीचर हैं उनके लिए बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है, व्हाट अबाउट एग्जामिनेशन प्रैक्टिसेस? हाउ आर असेसमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस ट्रांसफॉर्म्ड? जरा इंस्ट्रक्शंस देख लें पहले. इंस्ट्रक्शंस बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट होती हैं ऑनलाइन टीचिंग में, और ये रिटर्न हो तो अच्छी होती हैं. स्लाइड्स पे आपके पार्टिसिपेंट्स को, स्टूडेंट्स को नजर आए. यू विल वर्क फॉर 5 minutes इन अ ब्रेकआउट सेशन. अभी थोड़ी देर में आप सबको मैं ब्रेकआउट सेशन में डाल दूंगा. अच्छा, प्लीज ब्रेकआउट सेशन में जो नए पार्टिसिपेंट होते हैं ना, उन्हें नॉर्मली पता नहीं चलता. आपने अपना रूम नंबर याद रखना है. आप किस रूम नंबर में थे, वहां पर आप इंटरेक्ट तो करेंगे, आपने रूम नंबर याद रखना है. एक आपने स्पीकर सिलेक्ट करना है, जो स्पीकर आपकी डिस्कशन को रिपोर्ट बैक करेगा टू मी, और उस स्पीकर के पास चॉइस होगी, वो वीडियो ऑन करके हमें लाइव बता सकता है, ऑडियो वीडियो, जैसे उसके पास चॉइस होगी, ऑप्शन होगा. ठीक है जी. अच्छा, स्पीकर से जो क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा उसके 2 पॉइंट्स बताएगा वो सिर्फ, ठीक है? जो लेट से मैं तीनों में से कोई एक पूछूंगा स्पीकर से, तो वो उसके पॉइंट्स हमारे साथ डिस्कस करेगा सबके साथ, और स्पीकर ने कोशिश करनी है 2 मिनट से ज्यादा नहीं लेने। तो आप सब रेडी हैं? यू आर गोइंग टू गो इनटू दी ब्रेकआउट रूम्स। मैं आपके ब्रेकआउट रूम्स बना रहा हूं। वी हैव अ गुड नंबर 50 है हमारे पास, तो हम ऐसे करते हैं 5 ब्रेकआउट रूम्स बना लेते हैं। 10 का बड़ा हो जाएगा मेरा ख्याल है, हम इसको और करते हैं 8 बना लेते हैं, ठीक है जी? तो ये आपके क्रिएट हो रहे हैं, क्रिएट ओपन ऑल रूम्स। आप सब अभी रूम्स में जाने लगे हैं। उसके बाद आपको मेरी आवाज नहीं आएगी, आप रूम के अंदर अपना चूज करेंगे स्पीकर और फिर उसमें काम शुरू कर देंगे। चलें जी, ओपन ऑल रूम्स। जी मिस शुमाइला चौधरी, आप कुछ पूछना चाह रही हैं? आई अनम्यूटेड यू।
थैंक यू सो मच। जो क्वेश्चन आपने पोस्ट किया था उसके हवाले से, जो रूम्स में आपने हमें डेजिग्नेट कर दिए थे रूम्स, तो उसके लिए डिस्कशन मैं पूछ रही थी अपने कि हम कब डिस्कशन स्टार्ट करेंगे
बस
ऑन द
स्टार्ट
आंसर।
करेंगे आप। चूज अ स्पीकर बट मेक श्योर यू हैव अ स्पीकर, ठीक है?
ओके, एम आई इन अ रूम नाउ?
यस, यू मस्ट बी इन अ रूम।
आपने मुझे एक रूम में पुट किया था, लेकिन मैं डाउनस्टेयर्स के नीचे कुछ ऑफिस पे काम हो रहा था, तो जब तक मैं
अच्छा,
अपस्टेयर्स आई हूँ शायद मैं डिस्कनेक्ट हो गई हूँ।
लेट मी चेक कि अगर आप रूम में नहीं है शुमाइला चौधरी। अच्छा, मैं नहीं है, मैं आपको असाइन कर रहा हूँ रूम।
थैंक यू
यू
सो मच।
यू आर गोइंग टू बी रूम 4।
ओके।
जी, इमरान मुर्तजा इज गोइंग टू सेंड टू रूम 4। Mr. Ali Haider, you are being assigned to room number 7. मैं सनिया आपको रूम असाइन कर दूं? Just to have fun in the room 8.
people used to write it. Yes, people used to write it on typewriters. So I remember my father was writing his thesis, so he used to proofread it, and he used to ask us that if there is any mistake, and if he wants to make a correction, it would take him almost an hour just to make any correction in that small correction in a page. So, and nowadays with a single big space, you can remove your vocabularies, you can remove your ideas, you can replace them, you can bring an improvement to your thesis with a single click. Yes, and on the second side, whiteboards has been replaced with PowerPoints, with interactive boards, with more interactive tools, which are giving us, which are transformed, or which are communicating the ideas in a better way, in a more fast meaning. So before 15 years ago, the teacher used to write, I take at least 10 to 15 minutes to write the whole slide. And nowadays, with one click, you can have your slide written. You can have your slide shown at the screen. I think that has been 2 minutes.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much for being very crisp and within the point time limit. Muhammad Imran ji, please tell me about your room and then share the points about, share your findings about the second question. How has my profession transformed in the last 15 months? Ji.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So I was in the room number 8, and we were a number of people there. In fact, we just could not get a chance to get introduction with each other, and like we were trying to sort out what's happened, where are we right now, suddenly, and then slowly we started talking. Then, well, that was good. I guess a very good experience. So, well, as it's related to the question number 3, that what about examination practices and how assessment practices have transformed. We have tried to basically jot down few negative and positive aspects of for every question and point. But well, for this one, again, if we start from the positive aspects, it's the convenience at very first. Well, again, it has its own again some negative aspects as well, that it's not convenient for those who are not having good internet connection or who are not having again access to technology. But again, generally speaking, it has become more convenient for the students to take exam. Well, within our room, more focus was on negative aspects. Well, I highlighted a couple of times just to think about some positive aspects too. But well, the negative aspects are very common. People are like, we are unable to control the cheating. Students are having so many different ways of again sharing their answers, or even getting help from other sources like Google, or even from the seniors or their friends and family. So that has to be controlled.
And we are going to talk a lot about that, inshallah, that how can we have lots of ways through technology to overcome that. Definitely. But that's wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Imran, for sharing the valuable views.
One last point that we had in our room, I would like to add it. The lack of training, because we just did not come into this mode by choice. It was very sudden. So basically, we are feeling much comfortable by now, but still like pointing out to the tools or the technology that we have been using here in this class since the beginning. It's a very good example of how we have not been trained for this mode of learning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would request when your turn is done, please lower the hand. I have Ms. Shumaila to be taken for the next. Ms. Shumaila, and I think Ms. Shumaila would like to come online live through video. It will be good if you opt to come. Gee, please, yeah, Mike, yeah, great. So room number, and then share your views about the question number 2. How are we transformed in the last 15 months?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Shumaila and belong to Faculty of Management Sciences. I was from room number 4, and we found hardly time to introduce ourselves with other group members. But with the consent of every member of room number 4, we jot down some points regarding how has my profession transformed in last 15 months. about that, we know that our profession has transformed drastically. और हम तो बिल्कुल 360 degree पे हमने turn लिया है in last 15 months because the teaching has changed. Now उसके अंदर there are certain pros and there are certain cons. We being teacher agreed on so many cons of the point के हमारे तो बहुत ज़्यादा नुकसानात भी हुए online teaching से. As engagement, first thing is engagement of the student is very tough. So we have to work more on the course content, and we have to work more on questions like interactive questions, जिससे students अपना feedback देना start करें और उस feedback के जरिए हम किसी न किसी तरीके से उनकी engagement class में करें, because when students were present physically face to face in the classes, so the engagement was easy because only the mere presence of the teacher was enough for the students के जिससे वो खामोश भी रहते थे और जिससे वो क्लास में participate भी करते थे. And even if we ask them direct questions like define the equity markets or how we can start investment etc., तो उसमें वो बहुत ज़्यादा students अपने view points share करते थे. But now it has changed a lot. Now we have to ask a question जो कि हमारे course content को daily life से relate करे, and then फिर हम एक डेली लाइफ से क्वेश्चन को स्टार्ट करके और फिर उस क्वेश्चन को हम कंटेंट की तरफ लेके आए. तो एक ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज था. देन एक ये भी है कि टेक्नोलॉजी तो है, डेफिनेटली टेक्नोलॉजी ने हमारा बहुत ईज किया है कि बहुत दूर दूर से भी लोगों को हम इजीली इंगेज कर सकते हैं. इस टाइम पीरियड के दौरान हमने बहुत सारे वेबिनार्स जो अरेंज किए हैं, तो द स्पीकर्स वर सिटिंग इन सम अदर कंट्रीज, द स्टूडेंट्स वर सिटिंग फार अवे और engaging so many people sitting far away at their convenience was very easy. But once again we were dependent upon the internet connectivity. So the people with the poor internet connection or the people sitting at places के जहाँ पे internet connection problems थे, sometimes if we are sitting
yeah,
in
Ms.
our
Shumaila,
offices,
your points are well taken, and thank you for coming on live. तो थोड़ा हमारा student engagement भी बढ़ गया. We could also see what wonderful people are sitting with me. Dr. Tamkeen Salim है हमारे पास next. I am putting you on unmute, and please, if you would like to switch on your video, it's your choice, by the way, audio or video. जी, आप जरा, मैं चाह रहा हूँ जरा पहले क्वेश्चन पे थोड़ा सा हम थोड़ी सी बात कर लें. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा डॉक्टर साहब, टेक्नोलॉजी हैज ट्रांसफॉर्म्ड आवर लाइव्स इन द लास्ट 15 years. हाउ हमारी लाइव्स उसको कैसे बदला टेक्नोलॉजी?
All right. I'm Dr. Tamkeen Salim. I'm from Department of Psychology and I'm from room 3. And we had participants who were Dr. Ambreen. There was Mr. Naveed Altaf. There was Mr. Rafe. But lots of people could not interact. I don't know, probably it was because of the internet issue or because they were traveling or something like that. But it was not much people who were interacting. So it was me, Dr. Ambreen, and it was Mr. Naveed who just interacted. So I'm just not going to repeat the points that have been shared by our fellow participants, and I second all their points because they were very valid. Technology transformation in our last 15 years, if I focus on that, I would say that we have been using some form of technology over the past 15 years. Like previously, there was no usage of computers. If there used to be, for example, dissertation to be prepared, there would be typing that would be used with the typewriter, and then computers took place and we started using them. Then there were laptops and so on. But when we talk about that, what facilities we are having in the classrooms, which are our traditional classrooms, I would say that previously, I'm just connecting 15 months and 15 years together. Like, for example, we do not have much of facility of using the PowerPoints, and because we do not have the projectors. So the point is that if I would want to show a kind of video in the class, that would not be suitable. However, in these online classes, because we have more hold of the technology and we had more space to involve the students and they would be connected, so it was more easier to share a video, and then I could have reflection from the students as well. And I think a number of teachers also did that. There was one more point that was discussed, which was regarding that few of the people, as you also shared, that fewer people are newer. Like, for example, one of our participants shared that this is the first time she is attending an online training workshop, right? But if I relate my experience, I think in last 15 months, I have attended so many trainings, and I have conducted online session, which I think I would not have done, because of the reason that obviously we need traveling, we need to have some time out from the university and so on. But it was much more convenient to attend the online trainings. And
Perfect, Dr. Tamkeen. Your points are well taken and they are very
Thank you.
solid. So let's thank you very much for sharing. And this was from room 3. Now let's come to Dr. Sara Amir. Ji, Dr. Sara Amir, you are unmuted. If you could please only focus on, once again, I'll request on the how technology has transformed our lives. कोई एक आप उसका एस्पेक्ट खास तौर पर आप थोड़ा सा आप लोग तो हमारा होता है ये फैकल्टी जो है ना हम कहीं भी बैठे ना तो हम एकेडमिक हो जाते हैं भाई वी हैव अ लाइफ आल्सो हाउ हैव योर रेफ्रिजरेटर्स चेंज्ड हाउ द एलसीडी ऑन योर इन योर रूम चेंज्ड द टीवी का साइज कैसे बदल गया जरा उन चीजों पे भी थोड़ा सा रिफ्लेक्ट करें ना जी डॉक्टर सारा
जी बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलाम वालेकुम and good noon to everyone. This is Dr. Sara Amir from Department of Environmental Science, and I simply forgot that I belong to which room number because I thought it was room number 4, but one of the speaker she said that she belongs to room number 4, so sorry for that. And in my room we were having 5 people including myself, Ms. Ghazala Khalid, Ms. Mariam, Dr. Bushra, and Mr. Shazan. And out of these 5 people, only 2 interacted on the subject matter, me and Ms. Ghazala Khalid, and I am thankful to her. So you are talking about question number 1. Technology has transformed our lives in the last 15 years. That is quite right, because technology has changed our lives by increasing the speed of time. And it is also changing our lives every second. And at the same time, we have become more dependent on technology for teaching as well as for research, and it has made our life a little bit easier. But if I refer back to the generation which belongs to the era of 1980s, then at that time, people belong to that generation, it became very difficult for them to adopt to these, rapidly evolving and emerging technologies. So for that particular reason, that particular set of innovation needs training and capacity building. And I myself have witnessed for the last 40 years that how the things have been changed and evolved, especially since the last 20 years. We have not been introduced to technology like inverters. And now we all are using the technology in our homes. And at the same time,
yeah
we are having a lot of difficulties in using these hand gadgets.
Yeah, they are there, Dr. Sara. Thank you very much. Your points are well taken, and you are very kind to share your points. Now, since I don't know, rooms were less, I have more hands, but maybe I'll quickly take Muhammad Waheed Khan. Ji, please do share your room number first, and then share your points about the second question, 15 months. Please share any one typical point you would like to share about.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Good afternoon, sir. This is Muhammad Waheed Khan, and I am from room 6. And actually, to be very honest, I don't know my members. I know their names, but I don't know their department. So,
No problem.
coming to the second point, how actually technology transformed our profession in last 15 months. So actually, there are a lot more things, but due to the lack of time, I would just go to the summarized point. That due to the technology, actually, we are now well prepared and well informed. Before opting for the different online platforms like Zoom and Meet, the teacher had no idea what he or she had taught in last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But right now, due to uploading all the contents week wise, teacher is well prepared and informed, and teacher know the sequence that what topic he or she had taught in the previous week and what topic should come next. And the major problem that was in physical mode, when teacher was about to prepare the examination or paper, some of the questions were out of course because teacher had no idea what he or she had wrote on the whiteboard while teaching in last 6 months or 8 months, or let's say 4 months. But now due to the online platforms, all the contents, everything is uploaded in the teachers portal and students portal. Now teacher have 100% idea what he had taught, so he
Wonderful.
can design the paper as per the contents he has uploaded. So
Yes,
this way
wonderful
the
point,
out of
Mr.
course problem has solved.
Yeah. Wonderful point, Mr. Mohammed Waheed Khan, and point
you,
well
sir.
taken. And yes, it's a transformation. Exactly. Now you have all
Yes, sir.
that in one place. So let's take Dr. Abdul Zahid Khan next on the list. Please, Dr. Abdul Zahid Khan, आप ड्रॉप हो गया लिस्ट से आपने जी. डॉक्टर अब्दुल जाहिद खान साहब, आप जरा दोबारा रेस हैंड करें जी. आपको अनम्यूट किया हुआ है.
अच्छा जी, thank you sir. अच्छा, on our my group basically we have discussed in detail. The first point we have discussed was basically in terms of change in technology in our lives. The basic philosophy we need to understand that if we are not going to introduce any change in our life, we are going to repeat the same task again and again. We will be very soon replaced by some machine or robot. Like the cashier was doing the same task, he was replaced by some ATM. Now, the one very important point we need to understand that if we are not going to introduce innovation, creativity in our products, in our services, we will be no more, we can't survive in the current era. Second point was basically the transformation in the academic sector. Yes, but unfortunately, this transformation was not by choice. The transformation was due to some challenging situation like COVID. Always the transformation you are going to introduce in your organization, like major change, once you are having challenges from internal or external challenges. Like in our institute, in academic institutions, we were having, due to COVID situation, it was not possible to conduct our tasks the way we were doing. So we have to introduce changes in the processes, not only the core activity teaching, but in the supporting activities as well.
Yes, true.
Similarly,
डॉक्टर अब्दुल जाहिद खान सर, डॉक्टर साहब अपना रूम नंबर जरा बता दीजिएगा किस
room number 5, I think जी, room number 5.
5 से ठीक हो गया जी. Thank you, a very good point, and you also reminded us of in a different area. Dr. Sher Ali Khan है जी हमारे साथ. Dr. Sher, आपको unmute कर रहे हैं. By the way, remember you have choice to come online video के through. But I'm not forcing anybody. You might be at your rest place. Some of us on our beds still. But see, the technology is reaching us, our homes, our kitchens, everywhere possible. And Miss Amreen was telling us she is traveling and she's enjoying the training. Great. Ji, Dr. Sher.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, we are in group number 7. So we
7.
had.
And Dr. Sher, it's so good to see you after long.
Thank you, sir. You are my teacher, sir. Thank you.
Exactly.
Engineer Fahad was with us, Dr. Sumaira Batul, Ehsan Malik, and Dr. Ali Haider, and 2 other respected members, which I couldn't remember. Sorry for that. We discussed the points, and if I
आपसे
say
रिक्वेस्ट
in
करें
my
थोड़ी
words,
आवाज ऊंची करें. कुछ लोग आपसे कह रहे हैं आपकी आवाज थोड़ी सी ऊंची बोलें.
तो अगर जो हमने डिस्कस किया ना, जो हमने डिस्कस किया, तो अगर हम एक अल्फाज में बताएं तो टेक्नोलॉजी ने हमारे प्रोफेशन को, यानी क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 है, इसको B से C में बदल दिया है. B से C मतलब ये कि फ्रॉम बुक टू क्लिक, यानी पहले आप किताबें खोलते थे, पढ़ते थे, फिर जाके क्लास में लेक्चर डिलीवर करते थे, स्टूडेंट्स को कहते हैं किताब भी खोलें और पढ़ें. लेकिन अभी हम क्या करते हैं, खुद भी क्लिक करते हैं, स्टूडेंट्स को कहते हैं क्लिक ऑन दैट, क्लिक ऑन दिस. तो एक तो ये बहुत बड़ी चेंज जो है ना आ गई है, जिसको हमारे अरब, यहाँ ख़ुसूसली जो हमारे अरब टीचर्स है वो कहते हैं कि ये बड़ा मुश्किल मसला है. इसके अलावा जो हमने डिस्कस किया ना, स्पेशली जो लास्ट पॉइंट है, ये अली हैदर साहब ने कुछ एग्जांपल्स दिए, डॉक्टर सुमेरा बतूल साहबा ने और दोस्तों ने भी दिए, कि ये जो असेसमेंट है या क्वेश्चन प्रिपरेशन, स्पेशली जो क्वेश्चन डिवाइजिंग है कि सवाल कैसे डाला जाए, दिस इज़ रियली टेक्निकल एंड रियली डिफ़िकल्ट. स्टूडेंट्स को कैजुअल क्वेश्चन मिल जाता है और वो कॉपी पेस्ट करके जवाब दे देता है. हमें नहीं पता चलता कि स्टूडेंट की लर्निंग कितनी हुई है. तो तो ये क्वेश्चन प्रिपरेशन स्पेशली इसके लिए ट्रेनिंग होनी चाहिए, यानी जो टेक्सोनॉमीज है वो हर बंदे को नहीं पता होता कि उस हिसाब से कैसे सवाल बनाया जाए। फिर जो क्वेश्चन होते हैं उन्हें मिसाल सर ये
डॉक्टर थैंक यू वेरी मच। आपका ये जो खास तौर पे पॉइंट है अबाउट क्वेश्चन डिजाइनिंग और बच्चे कॉपी करते हैं, इसको हम इंशाल्लाह एड्रेस भी करेंगे और इसके हवाले से भी हम बात करेंगे। पॉइंट वेल टेकन, दीज वर वंडरफुल पॉइंट्स। तकरीबन सब लोग, नवीद साहब ने अभी हाथ खड़ा किया है तो नवीद साहब को भी देख लेते हैं क्विकली। नवीद साहब अपना रूम नंबर पहले बता दीजिए। एक रूम नंबर रह गया हुआ है हमारा, रूम नंबर 2। आर यू फ्रॉम रूम नंबर 2?
रूम नंबर 3, रूम नंबर 3 सर।
अच्छा 3 वैसे हो चुका है, लेकिन आप बात कर लें, एक पॉइंट शेयर कर लें अबाउट आप एग्जामिनेशंस में आपको क्या लगता है कि टेक्नोलॉजी।
वैसे जनरल एक पॉइंट शेयर करना चाह रहा था, जो सबने एकेडमिक वे में किया, तो मैं कह रहा था कि हमें जो लास्ट 15 ईयर्स सोशल मीडिया की वजह से जो चेंज आई है ना, उसमें एक ही है कि ह्यूमन बिहेवियर्स को एसेस करने में हमें आसानी हो गई है थ्रू सोशल मीडिया। बस ये करना चाह रहा था।
ओके, ऑल राइट, ठीक हो गया जी। Perfect. Thank you for sharing this point.
Thank you.
Now, wonderful points shared by all of you. And I'm so happy that some of you said that this is the first time you were in the breakout rooms. Some of you are even using Zoom first time. But we are all, you see, we should not be shy of it. We are all doing something for the very first time in life. And it's wonderful. Now, what we have to do, how to move forward for it. So the point, I have a few examples to share with you. And I remember, and you might gauge my age from it. When in Government College Lahore, Government College, which is now the Government College University, I was doing my graduation more than 20 years back. I remember the cell phone, the previous technology of the cell phone, it was introduced, GSM. And I remember Government College put a 500 rupee fine on bringing a cell phone to the college. If they would see a cell phone in our hand, you will be fined. While I was in US and somebody was sharing with me that University of Nebraska at Omaha campus, in the same time period almost, teachers were asking students to send their responses through the cell phone. Now, you just see the change. How did we receive technology and how technology was being received in those countries? I started my career in early 200s, and in 2004 I was an O-level teacher. And during my O-level teacher period, I remember the first year in the campus, the students were strictly forbidden to bring their cell phone to the school. And there was this science teacher. She had given this activity, a science teacher in Pakistani school, and she had given this activity to the students because, you know, O-level students, they would love to have the cell phones, and cell phones were coming new, and it was a status symbol and a number of other things. So she gave them an activity to send me a certain definition through a phone message. And I was, what? You will be receiving all of their phone, messages? Isn't it difficult? She said, no, but it's fun. You know, even those who do not otherwise write on the copy the definition, they read it from the book, they type it on the phone, and they love to send it to me. And I have an SMS, and they learn the definition. Now, this is the mindset, the behavior towards. That's why I always say, for change, for transformation, for technology, the first thing we have to change is the mindset. You know, I remember there's a world famous book. I'm sure I normally say that every teacher must know about it, the teaching tips, McKeeche's teaching tips. I have it with me. I can, I would love to share it with all of you. This McKeeche's teaching tips. This is considered a Bible for the university teachers and college teachers. It has almost every aspect of teaching and how to do it better and effectively. Now, this book, this very version, which is with me, and I was gifted this version, it was published in 2011. In 2011, the whole West was talking about online classes. There are special chapters on it. And that was the time when I first came to, when it was gifted to me that year, I came to know, okay, now MOOC, massive online open courses. Now this terminology, while many of us, we are still ignorant about it. We are still afraid of it. We are still debating on to, no, physical classrooms are better. Now, you see this Zoom, the application which we are using, it has recently issued a new survey which shows what areas of virtual life are going to stay here. Teaching is very much going to stay here. This online teaching, it's going to become a future. In countries like Pakistan, it's much more needed. You can access, you can have accessibility to the far off areas, and those students have accessibility to the good institutions, good teachers, good learning opportunities, which they were unable to do otherwise. You know, all that traveling, all that coming to bigger cities, living in Islamabad, which is extremely expensive, can be sorted out with the help of online teaching. What are we waiting for, all of us? Now, you see the ebb, I normally call it the ebb, you know, going back, being afraid of it. As Iqbal said, आईने नौ से डरना, तर्जे कोहन पे अड़ना, मंजिल यही कठिन है कौमों की जिंदगी में. अभी भी हमारे लोग इंतजार कर रहे हैं. बस मैंने खुद सुना है इन गुनाहगार कानों से, वो कह रहे होते हैं नहीं जी नहीं, फिजिकल क्लासेस वापस आएंगी तो पढ़ाएंगे. एंड मेरे पास अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी के तो स्टैटिस्टिक्स नहीं है, सिंस आई एम वर्किंग विद अदर यूनिवर्सिटीज फॉर ऑनलाइन टीचिंग and better online assessment and student engagement. So I can share with you about a university which is Islamabad and Pakistan's leading university, which already had a virtual segment. Because of ethical reasons, I'm not taking name. That university's faculty was supposed to teach, they worked out 37,000 hours of teaching during this pandemic time period. And you know what? They have calculated only 9,500 hours were taught. And the reasons for the teachers were like, unke jo excuses the na, they were much more innovative than the technology itself. And amazingly, because of they have a segment of the virtual teaching, the student ratio with them was much less than even I think some of our schools. I very proudly share with the people that our IAU schools, because we took initiative to immediately introduce to them the online teaching resources and a variety of them. Not all, but some of them even had 80% student engagement online. And a school as far as in Mansehra could engage this number of learners online, which is amazing. And that university only had 43% of students engaged. Now, you know, I don't know what is the number with our university and how many we have been able to engage. And there were many other interesting facts, but the tide is, now you see, and this reminds me the ebb in 2018, when I was on a residency visit to US, which Dr. Ayaz also referred to, University of North Carolina, and I had a chance to go to a number of universities. मुझे वहां पे यूं लगा कि ये तो हम शायद 100 साल बाद पहुंचेंगे, हम जिस स्पीड से टेक्नोलॉजी को ले रहे हैं और ये क्या कर रहे हैं. It looked like a different world. But abhi dekhe, how are we forced, each one of us is forced to take technology, 2 years only. Many of us. What I want to show you is, hamara ODL kya kar raha hai, hamari university kya kar rahi hai. Mashallah, many of you are already on LMS. I think I don't need to talk about it. So let's see, LMS, aap jante hai usko. I'm just giving you an idea. Our LMS, by the way, is also a wonderful tool. और इसके अंदर भी embedded है, जैसे आप में से कुछ लोग बता भी रहे थे अभी कि आप इसको Google Meet के थ्रू पढ़ा रहे हैं, जो उसमें embedded है. हमारे LMS में एक और बड़ा अच्छा फीचर है, मुझे अदर यूनिवर्सिटीज के LMS से ये इसलिए भी बेहतर लगता है, इसमें पैरालेक्स का ऑप्शन है, जो Go के भी in the briefing I was told कि ये थोड़ा सा इसको भी कर रहे हैं, ये पैरालेक्स सेक्शन जो है, कि आप different apps को simultaneously इसमें run कर सकेंगे. So you'll have more option, more liberty, more diversity. कि आप जिस भी you know tool को जिसको भी master कर लेंगे, you'll be able to run it. So आप इसमें login करते हैं. There are a number of other things to do on it. अच्छा, our university has gone a step ahead. और मुझे हमारे colleague ऐसे भी मिलते हैं. I don't know, मुझे बाजूकर लगता है कि ethically भी पता नहीं, वो ये बातें बड़े फख्र से बता देते हैं कि जी मैंने तो अभी तक ऑनलाइन की क्लास ही नहीं ली. तो मैं कहता हूँ अच्छा फिर आपने SMS पे कैसे पढ़ाया है? तो उन्होंने कहा जी वो WhatsApp पे पढ़ा लिया है और रिजल्ट भी आ गए और सब कुछ हो गया. Or maybe some of us, I'm sure many of us have very dedicatedly and we have spent time for it and we have done it. तो हम university is going a step ahead. For example, अभी आज के साथ आपके साथ जो हो रहा है हमारा था ये Zoom जो है, Zoom is going to be embedded. आप सबके पास they are going to facilitate us with this. ये आज भी वही कर रहे हैं मुझे इसमें facilitate. और ODL, which I don't know how many of you have already seen it. ODL is going to be the future of. I am so excited. आपको पता है जब मुझे ODL का पता चला कि हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी इस पर काम कर रही है डिस्टेंस लर्निंग के हवाले से और हम इंटरनेशनल जाएंगे. मैं तो जब से मैंने वो MIT के प्रोफेसर की 100,000 स्टूडेंट्स की क्लास का सुना है, मेरा दिल चाह रहा है कि आई शुड टीच अ क्लास विद 100,000 स्टूडेंट्स. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह यहाँ पाकिस्तान में फॉर द लास्ट 2 years, 1.5 years, 500 तक की क्लासेस आई एम टीचिंग. सो I'm setting the target. I'm so excited. अभी आपको मैं I want to show you ODL admin. Let's see. It's such an impressive thing which has come up. So we all should make ourselves ready for it. ODL. Now, this is a step ahead. हम ऑनलाइन टीचिंग पर ही नहीं आ रहे और ये ODL is going to take us forward to international teaching. ये आप ये देखिए ये हमारी कितनी impressive वेबसाइट बनने जा रही है और हमारे एक दोस्त कलीग हमारे साथ बैठे हुए हैं, उसमें कुछ राय भी दी थी, मैंने भी आगे फॉरवर्ड की है, वो इसको भी इंशाल्लाह एम्बेड करने जा रहे हैं. ये आप देखिए कि कैसे आपके पास ये फॉर एग्जांपल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट, ये हमारा कोर्स है जो इस वक्त आपके साथ चल रहा है, एक्सीलेंस इन ऑनलाइन टीचिंग एंड असेसमेंट. आप इसको खोल सकते हैं, आप इसमें जा सकते हैं, आप नंबर ऑफ थिंग्स विल बी एबल टू डू ऑन इट. और ये देखें यहाँ पर हमारा अभी ये इस तरह आपको फीचर किया जाया करेगा, इंटरनेशनली लोग आपको देखा करेंगे, आपके कोर्सेज रन होंगे. ये फीचर्ड कोर्स इस वक्त हमारा चल रहा है. So the world is going to be transformed if we don't learn all this. अच्छा जी मुझे कोई बता दें, ये कह रहे हैं नो वॉइस, शहीन कह रही हैं, बाकी लोग जरा काइंडली कंफर्म करें मुझे. एंड आई थिंक वी आर लिटिल स्लो. वी हैव अ नंबर ऑफ वंडरफुल वी कैन हियर. मिस्टर माइला जज़ाकल्लाह फॉर इन्फॉर्मिंग मी. मिस सनिया हैज रेज्ड हैंड. जी मिस सनिया यू आर अनम्यूटेड. जी
I think we can hear very well. There's no problem.
Okay, great.
At all.
Jazakallah.
I don't know, or maybe the person maybe they have an individual.
ठीक हो गया जी. So there is a wonderful team of which is working on the ODL, and we all should be excited to go online. We all should be excited to be international. We should all be excited to be there teaching an international course. So anyways, अच्छा अब दो चीजें जो है ना, what research says, overcome your fear of technology, number 1. तो हमें सबसे पहले तो ये करना है, until and unless we do it, we can't be successful. कि अभी भी ऐसे लोग हैं नो WhatsApp, अच्छा बाय द वे मैं वैसे आपको एक चीज बताऊं, हमें हमेशा वेस्ट से वो होते हैं. 2018 में when I went to US तो वहां पर भी बहुत से लोग WhatsApp यूज नहीं कर रहे थे. उनका ईमेल का यूज इतना क्विक था, इट वाज लाइक WhatsApp. तो टेक्नोलॉजी दे हैड टेकन इट दैट वे. और वहां पर भी मैंने गोरों से, वो एक हम इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस में थे, 500 पीपल फ्रॉम अक्रॉस US कनाडा, वो सारे बैठे हुए थे. तो आई रियलाइज, मैंने उनसे कहा जी आपने हैव यू एनेबल्ड दैट ऑप्शन. वो कहने लगे जी ईमेलिंग बिकम्स अ बिग इशू, हैंडल नहीं किया जाता. तो मैंने कहा आपने वो इशू वो एनेबल किया हुआ है, ऑटो रिप्लाई का जो होता है, या जो आपको प्रपोज रिप्लाई आते हैं आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. तो वो कहने लगे ये क्या चीज है. तो आई फेल्ट वेरी हैप्पी कि एज अ पाकिस्तानी आई वाज मोर एंटरप्रेन्योरियल देन मेनी ऑफ देम. और फिर अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह इन अ ब्रेकआउट सेशन साइड पर बैठे एंड दे इनवाइटेड मी टू गिव एन ओरिएंटेशन ऑन दैट. So let's overcome this fear of technology. It has a lots of things to offer us. और हम जब ये कर लेंगे, you'll be ahead of other people in your society, in your organization, in your country even, and you'll be in a leading position to guide others. So number 1, overcome your fear of technology. Number 2, learn to love e-learning. Explore it. It has all in one. I would like to give you an example. This is the सिस्टर तीमिया कह रही हैं कि जी सीन्स प्लेजराइज्ड फ्रॉम गूगल, ये गूगल इमेजेस फ्री होते हैं. सो आपको पता होना चाहिए, हमें सबको ही पता होना चाहिए कौन से इमेजेस फ्री हैं और कौन से जो हैं कॉपीराइटेड है. सो दिस वेरी डिवाइस, cell phone, what I want to share with you is, we have the I teach a course. The entire course is taught from this cell phone. The entire course, उसकी सारी documents, उसके सारी files, even Zoom के through इसके ऊपर, तो वो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारा कुरान कोर्स चलता है. One day my brother's wedding थी और मेरा था कि शायद उस दिन की क्लास मिस होगी, but the class was taught from the car. ठीक है. अच्छा जी, ठीक हो गया डॉक्टर साहब. ऑडियल इंटरफेस नहीं, अभी वो डेमो है, प्लीज ये याद रखें. वो भी दे विल बी वेरी केयरफुल, दे विल बी एबल टू इंशाल्लाह चेंज इट. वो अभी डेमो वर्जन है एंड दे वर वेरी काइंड टू अलाइन इट विद मी फॉर दिस, तो इंशाल्लाह दे विल चेंज इट देयर. सो दिस इज जस्ट अ सिंपल सेल फोन. आइए जी नेक्स्ट एक्टिविटी करते हैं. आज टाइम बहुत थोड़ा रह गया, मैंने भी एक्साइटमेंट में ज्यादा आपके साथ वो कर लिया है. आगे मैंने कुछ और चीजें दिखानी थी, बट वी आर, क्योंकि हमारा टाइम हो रहा है 12:30 का. सो लेट्स अच्छा, आपसे रिक्वेस्ट की गई थी एक A4 शीट और पेन या पेंसिल की, अगर आपके पास है तो नेक्स्ट हम जो इंटरेक्शन करने जा रहे हैं, ड्रॉ पिक्चर मैप ऑफ इश्यूज फेस्ड ड्यूरिंग ऑनलाइन टीचिंग एंड असेसमेंट. आप में से जिन किसी ने टीच किया है ऑनलाइन टीचिंग एंड असेसमेंट में, इसकी एक पिक्चर मींस आपने वर्ड नहीं लिखने, कोई एनी पिक्चर कहीं से भी आप ड्रॉ करें कि कैसा रहा है आपका एक्सपीरियंस. ठीक है. और ये आप मुझको ऊपर लिखें, ऊपर देखें क्या लिखा हुआ है, व्हाट्सएप मी ऑन EOTAIIA. जो आपका व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप है ना, ये आप ड्रॉ करके व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप के अंदर मुझे सेंड कर दें. लेट्स सी हु इज द फास्टेस्ट. कौन सबसे पहले ड्रॉ करके वहां पे सेंड करता है. जो सबसे पहले करेगा, अभी हम उसको अनाउंस भी करेंगे आप में से. और I hope the activity is clear, the task is clear. Draw a picture, a map of issues faced during online teaching and assessment. और फिर आप इसको व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप के अंदर, जिस ग्रुप में आप लोग मेंबर हैं, हिस्सा हैं, अगर आप में से कोई इस ग्रुप का मेंबर नहीं है तो वो यहाँ पर भी कर सकता है उसको. अच्छा, डॉक्टर मुसर्रत जो है व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में नहीं है. आई डोंट नो डॉक्टर मुसर्रत, व्हाई हैव यू नॉट बीन एडेड. जिन्होंने रजिस्टर्ड करवाया था ऑनलाइन, दे आर ऑल एडेड इन इट. सो आपको हम कर लेंगे, आप मुझे इसके बाद बता दीजिएगा. आई एम शेयरिंग माई नंबर हियर. ठीक है जी. जो भी एडिट नहीं है उनको कल के सेशन के लिए ऐड कर लिया जाएगा. आप मुझे इस नंबर के ऊपर अपना नाम व्हाट्सएप कर दीजिएगा. ठीक है. आई विल पुट यू इन द व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप so that you could know whatever developments are taking place. I have sent my number. जी आप मुझे करेंगे. अच्छा, आप यहाँ भी सेंड कर सकते हैं, शेयर कर सकते हैं. आई एम वेटिंग. जी पहली आ भी गया जी. फर्स्ट इमेज इज देयर. Wow, great. And I am going to share it with all of you. First image is here. This is what technology is. और ये हम शेयर कर रहे हैं आपके साथ. Excellence in online teaching. Here is the first image. और ये है मिस शुमाइला. ये इन्होंने शेयर किया थी. ये होता रहा हमारे साथ in online teaching. Wonderful. I am waiting for more images to come. जी. WhatsApp पे आ गया जी नंबर 1. अच्छा, प्लीज रिमेंबर आई रिक्वेस्टेड कि आप नाम लिखेंगे. मिस्टर सुहेल इज हियर. उन्होंने कहा जी हमारे साथ ये होता रहा ऑनलाइन टीचिंग. अच्छा, ये आज ही का उन्होंने एक्सप्रेस कर दिया कि आज हमने ऑनलाइन टीचिंग में क्या किया है. गुड हो गया जी. जी वेटिंग फॉर, देखें ना जैसे भी आप देखना चाहें. सो यू कैन हैव, हमारे पास जैसे जैसे आते, टेक्नोलॉजी का कमाल देखें जरा. दिस इज बीइंग. और नेक्स्ट आ गया जी हमारे पास डॉक्टर जाकिरा जहां का इमेज. इनकी ड्राइंग मजे की है. ऑनलाइन टीचिंग. वाह. सो नेक्स्ट आ गया जी हमारे पास इमेज. देखिए ना, टेक्नोलॉजी इज फन. आप उसी वक्त सब कुछ करें. यूज डिफरेंट टूल्स, डिफरेंट वेज. यू कैन नॉट शेयर रिकॉर्डिंग, ये मसले भी होते थे। या एग्जैक्टली, जी बिल्कुल ठीक है। सो आगे किसी ने एक्चुअल मसला ही जो है ना वो वेरी गुड, देयर इज पीपल आर वेरी वेरी वेरी, ये देखें उन्होंने कहा जी असल हमारा तो ये मसला होता था। अच्छा, डॉक्टर शहीन का भी आया हुआ है, लाइट इश्यू, दिस इज पाकिस्तान। और ये भी आ गया जी हमें उबैद उमर का, ये देखिए, और जी धड़ाधड़ आ रहे हैं जी हमें सबके। So see how are we engaged together? Technology can help us engage. आपका काम मेरे पास आ रहा है, उसी वक्त आप सब देख भी सकते हैं अपने फेलो लर्नर्स के वो क्या काम कर रहे हैं। ये देखिए डॉक्टर फरियाल, हाँ वेरी गुड, दैट्स वंडरफुल। सो यू हैव दी टेक्नोलॉजी जो है, आपके धड़ाधड़ इमेजेस जो है ना मेरे पास आ रहे हैं। और एक आया जी नो इंटरनेट, अली हैदर का आ रहा है। अली हैदर आप हमें अपनी ड्राइंग भी दिखाएं ना, योर इमेजेस हियर, आई वुड लव टू सी योर ड्राइंग एज वेल। जी ये भिजवा रहे हैं अली हैदर हमें। और एहसान मलिक साहब ने लिख दिया जी कि ऑनलाइन में क्या होता है आपके साथ। ओके, सो वी आर सी दिस। मोहम्मद इमरान, नाइस, आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू आर हियर, या बिग इशू, यस। और आपने देखा हम कैसे कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं उसको, पोल्स पर भी अटेंडेंस लग जाती है, लिंक्स पर भी लग जाती है। तो दिस इज हाउ। अब मेरे पास बहुत ज्यादा आने शुरू हो गए, बड़े एक्सप्रेसिव। अच्छा जी, आप अनम्यूट नहीं कर पा रहे खुद को, डॉक्टर फरियाल नहीं कर पा रही अनम्यूट। डॉक्टर फरियाल आप रेज हैंड करें, मैं आपको अनम्यूट कर दूंगा, मैंने खुद आपको वो किया हुआ है ना। जी डॉक्टर फरियाल को अनम्यूट कर दिया जी मैंने।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाह।
जी वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
आई जस्ट वांटेड टू शेयर कि बच्चे अक्सर ये कहते थे कि हम अनम्यूट नहीं कर सकते खुद को, और एक दूसरे की तरफ से कहते थे मैम उसका माइक नहीं चल रहा, मैम शी इज प्रेजेंट। ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग उनका एक स्टाइल होता था, लेकिन बहुत सी बच्चियां एक्टिव लर्नर थी बहरहाल।
True. Thank you very much for sharing this point, and lots of good things are being shared. आप देखिए, आप एक्टिव क्लास में भी, आप फिजिकल क्लास में भी इतनी तेजी से चीजों को नहीं कर सकते। एनीवेज, चूंकि हमारा आज का सेशन, आई डोंट वांट टू टेक योर मच टाइम, हमारी कुछ चीजें रहती हैं, तो इफ यू अलाउ मी, आप मुझे चैट बॉक्स में बता दें 5 मिनट्स में हम ताकि आज का सेशन कर लें। आज असल में शुरू में क्लोजिंग जो ओपनिंग सेरेमनी थी उसकी वजह से हम नहीं कर पाए। आप मुझे जरा चैट बॉक्स में राय दे दें कि मैं 5 मिनट और ले लूं, इफ यू अलाउ। जी मैं बिल्कुल आपको इंशाल्लाह आई विल आल्सो टीच यू पोलिंग, उसको जरा बाद में रख लें, मैं जरा ये सेशन को थोड़ा सा आगे ले जाएं। जी ठीक है, ग्रेट हो गया, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, यू आर ऑल वेरी काइंड। चलें जी, तो अभी आपने ये भी एक इंटरेक्शन देखी कैसे हम कर सकते हैं। अच्छा, अब जो बिगेस्ट चैलेंज है वो दुनिया भर में सबको आया है, हमें भी, आपको भी, सबको, स्टूडेंट्स को ऑनलाइन टीचिंग के अंदर एंगेज कैसे किया जाए। तो उसके लिए, अच्छा जी ठीक हो गया, राइट, हाँ जी, डॉक्टर मुसरत कह रही है वेरी एनर्जेटिक फुल ऑफ इन्वॉल्वमेंट। अब ये पता नहीं किसके बारे में कह रही है मुझे, इफ इट इज फॉर अस तो इट्स अ कॉम्प्लीमेंट, जज़ाकल्लाह, वेरी एजुकेटिव। अच्छा जी, ऑनलाइन, अच्छा पहले, सबसे पहले सब लोग एक ये तवज्जो आपकी चाहिए, जो इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है ना जिसे हम कर नहीं पा रहे, दैट इज द चेंज अजम्पशंस। जब तक हम वो अपने लर्नर के हवाले से चेंज अजम्पशंस अपनी नहीं करेंगे ना, हमें यही लगेगा कि ऑनलाइन टीचिंग इज नॉट इफेक्टिव। ऐसा नहीं है। दी चेंज, पहली अजम्पशन जो हमने चेंज करनी है वो ये होती थी, पहले लर्निंग क्या होती थी, बच्चा उठकर सब कुछ छोड़ के आपकी क्लास में आए। बट अब क्या हो रहा है, यू आर एट देयर सोशल स्पेस। जहां वो पहले फन करते थे ना मोबाइल के साथ, दोस्त इकट्ठे बैठ के घर के उस कोने में, रास्ते में, गाड़ी में, अब आप वहां पहुंच गए हैं। सो प्लीज वी कैन टेक एन एडवांटेज ऑफ इट। आगे मैं इस पे बात करूंगा हाउ डू वी डू इट। तो पहले तो चेंज अजम्पशंस की तरफ आए। You are at their social place, number 1. Number 2, you are barging in their fun time and tools. वो मोबाइल जो उन्होंने अपने फन के लिए रखा था, अब आप उन्हें पढ़ने के लिए इस्तेमाल करवा रहे हैं। आपका व्हाट्सएप किसके लिए था? ये तो आपका था आपस में वो एक दूसरे को फनी चीजें भेजने के लिए। मैं आपसे कह रहा हूं कि इस लर्निंग के दरमियान आप मुझे इमेज बनाकर भेजें। isn't it altogether different? So let's change them, these assumptions. तो देयर आर न्यू अजम्पशंस नाउ। वो जो एडल्ट टीचिंग के मॉडल थे ना, नॉवेल्स के प्रिंसिपल थे, एडल्ट टीचिंग के प्रिंसिपल्स थे, वो इवॉल्व हो रहे हैं, उसमें और चीजें आ रही हैं साथ साथ। They are much better in technology use, an extremely important area to remember and to believe in. जो आपके सामने लर्नर बैठा हुआ है वो हमसे बेहतर है टेक्नोलॉजी यूज में, लेट्स टेक देयर हेल्प। तो ये बहुत बड़ी चीज है, वी ऑल हैव टू बिलीव इन इट। वो जो जग और मग था ना वो उलट हो गया, अब मग इज पोरिंग इनटू द जग। हम टेक्नोलॉजी में पीछे हैं, दे आर अहेड ऑफ अस। डॉक्टर सहर कुछ कहना चाह रही हैं, शी हैज रेज्ड हैंड। जी डॉक्टर साहब, क्विक कमेंट जी, अनम्यूटेड यू।
Okay, Kashi sir, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. काशी साहब थोड़ा सा एम्फसाइज करें, जो डेवलपिंग वर्ल्ड है और जो डेवलप्ड वर्ल्ड है उसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट है। और देखिए हमारा डेवलपिंग कंट्री में ईस्टर्न कल्चर है, हमारे जो फीमेल मैरिड फैकल्टी मेंबर्स की इश्यूज हैं वो हमारे काउंटर पार्ट्स के नहीं हैं। तो ये तमाम जो प्रैक्टिकल रियलिटीज़ हैं, ये इश्यूज हैं, इनको भी थोड़ा सा हाईलाइट करने की ज़रूरत है। और हमारी जो ओरिएंटेशन है, जो हमारा ब्रॉटअप है, जो हमारी ड्रिंकिंग है, उसमें ये चीज़ें कहीं ना कहीं मिसिंग रही हैं, जिसकी वजह से हमें अभी भी ये इश्यूज फेस करने पड़ रहे हैं। तो आई थिंक यू आर हाईलाइटिंग ओनली द वन एस्पेक्ट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी विच इज़ वेरी मच पॉजिटिव, नो डाउट अबाउट इट। At the same time, it has a lot of other issues which are quite practical and realistic, keeping in view the Eastern and the culture of the developing world.
अच्छा डॉक्टर साहब, उसका देखें, हमारे यहाँ यूनिवर्सिटीज और हमारे इदारे भी इवॉल्व हो गए हैं। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल कुछ और यूनिवर्सिटीज में जहाँ पे मैं एंगेज हूँ, तो उन्होंने ये सेट किया हुआ है कि जो फीमेल स्टूडेंट है ऑनलाइन, शी विल नेवर पुट ऑन दी स्विच ऑन द वीडियो। सो यू सी, टेक्नोलॉजी आपको बड़े ऑप्शंस दे रही है ना, मल्टीपल ऑप्शंस दे रही है। सो इवन इफ वी आर इन द डेवलपिंग वर्ल्ड, बाय द वे मैं आपको बताता चलूं, इवन इन डेवलपिंग वर्ल्ड वी आर ऑल फोर्स्ड, आपके पास ऑप्शन ही नहीं बचा ना। या तो फिर यही है कि हम सब बैठे रहें घरों में एंड वी डोंट डू एनीथिंग कंसीडरिंग कि दीज आर आवर इश्यूज। लेट्स से आपका स्टूडेंट अपने बेड के अंदर सोकर पढ़ रहा है, वो उठकर नहीं आ सकता आपके पास, फाइन, वो वीडियो नहीं शो कराए, ऑडियो यूज कर ले। यहाँ पर देखे, मैंने भी आपको फोर्स नहीं किया किसी को भी। सो वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट वेज टू सॉल्व दीज इश्यूज एंड टेक्नोलॉजी हेल्प अस मच बेटर एंड इजीली टू ओवरकम दीज। But anyways, let's come to the next assumption, which is they are concerned about their studies and future. अभी देखें क्या हुआ है, पहले स्टूडेंट का एक बिल्कुल डिफरेंट स्टाइल था, अब स्टूडेंट्स के अंदर ये चेंज भी आती जा रही कि भाई फिजिकल क्लासेस ही नहीं हो रही, व्हाट नेक्स्ट, हाउ टू गो अबाउट इट, क्या फिर ऑनलाइन क्लासेस ही लेनी पड़ेंगी। दुनिया के अंदर ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन इस तरह आई है कि millions of people are enrolling themselves into the online courses, free as well as paid. तो ये assumptions के हवाले से एक wonderful thing which I would like to share with all of you, and I believe as a teacher हम सबको पता होना चाहिए Project Zero का। Project Zero is the Harvard University's prime project। 60 साल से दुनिया में ये चल रहा है, ये हेल्प करता है लर्नर्स को। मैं कोई पिछले 5-7 साल से तो मैं इसका मेंबर भी हूँ, इसको यूज भी करता हूँ, इससे स्टडी भी करता रहता हूँ। As a teacher, I think every teacher must know about it. I would like to share with you this Project Zero of Harvard University Graduate School of Education. आप ये नीचे इसकी वेबसाइट भी है, इसका लिंक मैं आप सबके साथ भी शेयर करने लगा हूँ। I would like to show it to you also, open करके। It's such a wonderful ये है जी Project Zero। और अगर Project Zero में अगर मैं एक चीज, there are number of things to study, सिर्फ एक चीज मैं आपको कहूँ तो वो है our first years। अगर आप ये खोलें our first years और यहाँ पर आप जाएं तो there is click to watch changes in mind, ये वाला जो है, ये यहाँ पे वीडियो है, अगर आप वो देखना चाहें तो वो भी बड़ी जबरदस्त चीज है। आई विश कि हमारे पास कभी इतना टाइम होता और हम इसको देख सकते, लेकिन यहाँ ये है डाउनलोड क्रिएटिव टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग जर्नल। ये जो वॉल्यूम है ना जी, ये छोटा सा जर्नल है कुछ पेजेस का, इसके अंदर इनकी 50 साल की हिस्ट्री में जो चेंजेस आ रही हैं ऑफ लर्निंग एंड ऑल दैट, वो इसके अंदर है। तो मे बी यू वुड लाइक टू रीड इट। सो देखें हम ऑनलाइन टेक्नोलॉजी कैसे हेल्प करती है, आप क्लास के अंदर बैठे बैठे ही कहाँ पहुंच रहे हैं। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच, यू आर ऑल वेरी काइंड। आ चुके हमारी ओपनिंग सेशन मेरा ख्याल था 10-15 मिनट में हो जाएगी, तो मैंने उसके अकॉर्डिंगली डिजाइन किया हुआ था। सो इंशाल्लाह कल हम इसको, आई विल बी मोर केयरफुल अबाउट टाइम, हम थोड़ा सा सेशन इसको रोल ओवर करते हैं फॉर टुमारो। तो थैंक यू वेरी मच ईच वन ऑफ यू, यू आर वेरी काइंड। आप जाने से पहले एक काम जरा क्विकली कर जाइए, एंड दैट इज अपनी आप अटेंडेंस मार्क कर दीजिए यहाँ पर। और आज की अच्छा जी, ये आ रहा है आपके पास ये वाला प्रोजेक्ट 0 का लिंक, अगर आपने इसको खुद से देखना हो। और हमने कुछ चीजें और करके इस स्लाइड पर जाना था। यहाँ पर है हमारा इवैल्यूएशन अटेंडेंस। आज के सेशन का ये लिंक आपके साथ व्हाट्सएप में भी और चैट में भी शेयर हो रहा है, प्लीज इसको फिल कर दीजिए। ये जी आपको भिजवा दिया गया है और ये मैं आपके चैट में भी डाल रहा हूँ, सॉरी व्हाट्सएप में भी डाल रहा हूँ, वहां से भी आप इसको कर सकते हैं। ये 2 मिनट लगेंगे आपको, इससे ज्यादा नहीं लगेगा, ओनली 2 मिनट्स। ठीक है, एक्सीलेंस इन ऑनलाइन टीचिंग एंड कंट्रोल V, इट्स हियर। ठीक है जी, अब आप इन 2 लिंक्स के ऊपर जाकर एक दफा अपनी कहीं से भी चले जाएं, चाहे इस चैट बॉक्स से चले जाएं, चाहे व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप से चले जाएं, और आप इसको सिर्फ वो कर दीजिए। once again, thank you very much. You were all very kind, especially sparing extra 9 minutes for this session. Any quick comments, questions? कोई बात आप करना चाहते हैं? Those who want to leave because of time, please feel free to leave. You can quit. Jazakallah, Dr. Faryal, for these kind words. Inshallah, there's a lot to learn in the next 2 days. Inshallah will learn a lot. बहुत सी ऑनलाइन चीजें भी हम सीखेंगे। जज़ाकल्लाह, जज़ाकल्लाह फॉर द प्रेयर्स। जी डॉक्टर सहर कुछ कहना चाह रही हैं जी, सॉरी डॉक्टर सारा आमिर जी। डॉक्टर साहब अच्छा, वो शायद उन्होंने लोड कर दिया हैंड को। ठीक है जी, इफ देयर आर नो कमेंट्स तो आई विल नाउ एंड द मीटिंग। सुब्हानक अल्लाहुम्मा व बिहम्दिका नशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता नस्तगफिरुका व नतूबु इलैक। अल्लाह हाफिज।